Rusty. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Committee of the Whole meeting for April 4th, 2023. As you will see, there are a couple motions to be made, even though this is a Committee of the Whole meeting. It's a timely issue, so that's why they're on the agenda. Okay,
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
thank you, Councillor Hancher. Thank you, Councillor Burtis. Questions?
No,
All in favor? Okay. So a motion to adopt the draft minutes from the regular meeting of March 21st, 2023.
I'll make a motion to adopt the minutes from the March 21st meeting.
I'll second. I'm sure, and Councillor Slager. Any questions or comments?
Not for me.
Thank you. Councillor Slager, all in favor? Carried. Motion to pay the open payable $134,661.87.
Make a motion to pay the open payables of $134,661.80.
Thank you, Councillor Burtis.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councillor Hancher. Any questions?
No, not for me anyway.
The one where we had the flooring, in Canada Flooring, I'm assuming that's from the Northern Lights Center.
That's correct, Your Worship.
I guess what I'm asking is the bid that we would have sent out, do we just have our own staff lay the flooring?
No, it's Canada Flooring.
Oh, that's actually doing it and buying it. Okay, gotcha. I thought it was weird that like we would subcontract it out and then I misunderstood that. So no, I that's a real question. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Councillor Slager. Any more questions? All in favor? Carried. All right, number 4, CAO Lockwood.
So Your Worship, I'm just wording Councillor Paquette joining instructions for them. So,
I don't put them.
yeah, here. So anyways, you've all heard on the word street, I've implemented some changes at the rec center, trying to streamline operations there. So there's more changes will be playing out as we go forward. We're conducting, I think we're starting interviews Thursday for the rec programmer position, and I can't, if you and I have been dealing with so many different things yesterday, today, I can't remember if they roll over into next week or not. They do, yes. So the interviews will do next week on that. We had the new camera system is the new camera system in the Northern Lights Center is up and going. We held staff training on Tuesday and Thursday last week. I sat in on Tuesday and Wednesday. I sat in on Wednesday's training, and I sent you all a video clip of the show. It is phenomenal. I've been in myself now a few times, just honing my skills on it, just because, and actually getting a better knowledge of what shows we actually do have there. So, and Jesse Reeves is coming down on Sunday to reinstall the seats back in there. So by next weekend, they will all be installed. And then my staff is going to go in. I met with all my staff at the rec center today at a staff meeting, and the staff is going to go in and start cleaning and prepping the building for opening season. Tiffany and Randy and Connie took turns running the town's booth at the career fair for 2 days last week as well, Tuesday and Wednesday. But we did train 6 staff on the new projection system. So of that, we have 3 staff, which will be at Northern Lights Center. Unfortunately, 2 are students, 1 is an adult, so we're still got applications out for more positions, and we'll hire anybody with a heartbeat that can smile and push a button.
Just show up.
Yeah, and I'm to the point now, if somebody doesn't want to work full time, if it's someone that's getting retired or whatever, would like to be a greeter and a welcomer on behalf of the community and only want to do it for a few hours a week, I'm willing to accept. And it was actually kind of nice because Heather Berg I met with last week as well, and I was telling her about the new system, but she would like, to come in for a couple hours every once in a while to vote as well.
Sure.
Just
Sounds great.
it's nice. So yeah, so we're getting really creative on hiring, and we'll do whatever we can to make it work. And yeah, like I say, resumes are sort of trickling in for other positions. So I do know that we do have 1 applicant for pool manager, and we do have the 3 kids that we trained last year. So knock on my thick skull, I think we're gonna be able to get the pool going.
We order an extra pump. Just kidding.
Yeah.
No?
Every spring.
Well, so my plan is hopefully that we'll be able to run the training here. We'll bring in a trainer to train more people that they're interested. So,
Amazing.
yeah, and same thing there. We've got some previous employees that have expressed interest in maybe running, like Aquafit or something, not working full time, only coming in for a couple hours during the week just to do some of the programming. And we're going to look at every feasible option out there to make it work. And like I said, if they don't want, if people don't want to work full time, then we'll definitely work around it and be creative.
Okay.
So so we're rolling ahead with that. We had another meeting about EYC AGM because it's getting close now. We're 5 weeks away, so time's gonna fly. And slow time right now for a bunch of the departments, and we're running short staff due to some family and medical and holiday stuff. But the ice, the loader's scheduled to take the ice surface out tomorrow morning. So it's done. All in all, I think the season was pretty good. Curling was seeing more use than we have in a while. And skating rink, interest with the young kids actually really picked up with the bantam age type stuff.
Good.
I watched their last practice on Wednesday night. Was in a meeting upstairs there, and they had a full turnout of kids and they were having fun. So it's nice to see something like that being used. HVAC techs in this week. They're installing the piping and the roof drains for the rec center because of part of our roofing stuff. We had more drainage put in the low spots, so that way we don't have pooling and ponding up there. So they're in running the piping underneath the ceiling out to the outside walls. So they're working on that this week as well. And the other thing that we had a couple leaks here in this roof, but we've narrowed it down to the issue was that one of the roof jacks around one of the pipes got compressed and there's a gap. So the roofers have been dealing with that. So that's nice to see. For your next meeting, there will be coming out for approval. Will be the pricing for the remainder of the rec center roof to award, so I can award those contracts, rec center roof and the ski chalet roof.
Okay.
We only could get one company to price it, same as we did last year. And that's Superior Roofing, that their service to us has been phenomenal. And their pricing has been very rare because they're the one that give us the budgetary quote for the Northern Lights Center. And that's the price that the company from price. So we so those things are going to come forward. We're really working to get our capital tender stuff in order, but Tiffany and I, like I said, we've been busy the last 2 weeks. It's all gonna fall in line. And, yeah, so that's about it, pending questions later.
Sure, sounds good. That's all right with everybody. We've got some questions from that. We can take them later.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I'm sure there's stuff in this.
Yeah. So it's busy. There's lots going on. That's great.
Yeah.
That's good. Thank you, CAO Lockwood. So next on our agenda, we have two bylaws for first and second reading. First being the first and second reading of bylaw 23-04, being the bylaw to levy taxes for the year 2023.
Make a motion to do first and second reading of bylaw 2023-04, being a bylaw to levy taxes for the year 2023.
And
Thank
your worship, for the record, that's the 1.5%.
We made the motion.
Approved last week.
Councillor.
I'll second.
Thank you, Councillor Slater. Thank you, Councillor Burtis. Thank you, CAO Lockwood.
My,
Questions?
my only question was all of the other rates for like, non-residential and non-local and blah, 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 those all stayed the same as previous?
No,
Sorry?
that's all part of your
That was all part of-
recommendation, 1.5% increase.
So they all went up by 1.5. Okay.
For future reference, we could divvy that up for different increments, right?
Good, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor? Carried. Slater Burtis. All right, number 6, first and second reading of bylaw 2023-05, being a zoning bylaw. And this is because of some flaws in the presented bylaw without enforcement details.
See, I take issue with this bylaw. Reason being, a while, less than 6 months ago, I asked that we review the garbage collection bylaw. And I was told that we would have to do a public meeting and that we had done it not so long ago. And that once we were done the cemetery bylaw and we had done budgets and stuff like that, we would address that bylaw. And I see that. And the other reason was we had just addressed that bylaw not so long ago. So this bylaw here has been addressed not so long ago, more recently than the other one, and we're fixing just a little glitch. That's all I wanted to fix on my. And so it's like, if it matters to, I would like to see my bylaw get fixed. The part being specifically one little part, just being that we're not charging for services which we don't provide, which is the morally good thing to do. So until that happens, I'm not prepared to vote on this. I will vote no.
Thank you, Councillor Slager.
For those reasons.
Understand where you're coming from. We will have to do a public hearing for this zoning bylaw because it's a zoning bylaw.
Your
So
worship, the public hearing is scheduled for next meeting, the 21st. Or the 18th, sorry.
just like, yeah. That's fair. Okay. But I still, if there's other motion on the table,
I'll make a motion for first and second reading of bylaw 2305, revised zoning bylaw
sure. Thank you, Councillor Burns.
to include the enforcement portion.
All in favor?
Are you in favor? Yes.
For the record,
It is carried.
Do you want that recorded?
I just want to protest. Yes,
Your worship, the bylaw that Councillor Slager is referring to is on the list of bylaws that we are in the queue.
Yeah.
Yes.
The garbage bylaw.
Yes.
And the other part of that was, the argument made to that one was that we were hoping to get some work done for the public waste drop off, right? And we have the new tipper arm coming as well. So there's a couple things that we can do in and amongst that.
Fair enough.
Garbage bylaw.
I can fix my face now.
Okay. But I don't disagree with you, Councillor Slager. Okay. Coming next, the Trail Enhancement Project Report. Lees and Associates. CAO Lockwood, do you want to give a little brief on that? Or just a little overview of?
Yes, sorry. Pull it up here, your worship. So as you know, Lees and Associates was down and did community engagement, they did a survey. They interviewed, I forget what it said. They got about 40 some responses on that project, and this is through the active transportation funding project that we did. So they, based on their input from 48 completed surveys and 15 people they engaged at the town hall. This is their final report as the recommendations that they learned. And so there's three, so it covered the White Lake Trail system and the Cypress Forest Trail system. So out of that, they brought forward two recommendations for development of the system. And once council accepts the report, then we can spread it out to the community for final feedback. But it includes new outhouses, trailhead kiosks with mapping, new benches, picnic areas, more garbage and recycling areas, interpretive signs, wayfinding posts, bike racks, better signage at all the parking areas. And the same thing with the Signpost Forest area. And then out of that, they presented two options for the White Lake Trail system. One being with a gravel trail system, gravel hard pack trail, and then the second one would be with an asphalt trail. Based on this report, once council accepts it, then we can apply back for phase 2 of the active transportation funding to move forward based on whatever option the community and council approves. But for White Lake Trail System, option 1 was accessible hard pack gravel trail. And the estimate to do that work was $754,300. There's a lot of work. And then option 2 was to complete the same work, but having an asphalt surface instead of the gravel. And the estimate for it came in at 1.76 million. And
For the gravel?
no,
Asphalt.
Oh, okay, sorry. Thanks.
and then for the White Lake, for the Signpost Forest Trail system, it is estimated at $240,000. Makes it fully accessible right now. People with the accessibility issues cannot get in and around the Signpost Forest Island. And that price would be for a granular, like a hard packed gravel trail with the geotextile membrane underneath, so weeds and stuff don't come up and through. So both are very exciting options for those projects and for our community.
Will we be eligible to receive the full amount of this covered by that fund, or would we have to chip in?
70, we'd have to put in.
You'd have to put in 25%,
And it is a stackable fund that we can use gas tax,
Yeah, because it's for parks,
right?
correct?
parks, tourism, that kind of thing. It would really allow us for the White Lake Trail System part to have a year-round accessible trail. Especially with the new Kubota tractor, because even the gravel trail out here all winter now, our staff kept it open. They just, the snow blowers set up high enough that it's not gouging into the stone walkway when they do it.
That
But
was with the
Would
gravel.
we be mocked publicly if we had asphalt trails and chip seal streets and, you know what I mean? Like, people would be like, wow, you should see their trails. Their roads.
Trails are paved.
I guess the problem, the thing with our streets though would be the fact We actually priced out, we asked about chip seal for the trail,
Yeah,
but it's not environmentally friendly to go along the lake.
really?
This is probably a bar or whatever.
Yeah, the bit noose is not environmentally friendly for them doing that application. So we did look into it. We figured the same standard around, but the cost to put asphalt streets in town are that budget that we talked about, it's in the 100 mil range, would be probably double that if we did asphalt.
We have more streets than trail.
Well, I know, but I mean, it is kind of, right?
So we have it asphalt through the center of town on the highway, so, you know.
Moving on up.
And Yukon government is actually looking at paving from the corner all the way to the airport this year, is what I've been told by the farm.
Oh, the asphalt?
Yeah, the asphalt.
How,
We get those, our things done,
I don't know.
you know what I mean?
Oh, the
You know,
entrance.
it's-
Yeah.
So
Yes.
we can motion this at the next meeting.
Well, the cost estimate stuff isn't what you're approving, your worship, it's just accepting of the final report. And then it's up to council's decision what way they want to,
And that's a separate
it's a separate.
conversation.
Separate decision.
Okay, so we are motioning tonight to accept this report, and at a future date, we will be talking about options.
Yes, this way the draft, the finalized report can go to the community for the community
Okay,
review.
perfect.
Otherwise, the community members.
Thank you. That was my question.
Information available to them.
Is there a way to add stuff to this report? Like, if we wanted to redo the park, that's part of Wildlife Park and stuff, like just where we get it into the funding for it's not.
Yeah,
And we can
and
try to get as much as we can out of that funding.
your worship, that can be, as we've talked in the past, that can be added into the scope of the work for
Yeah.
going forward.
I just make,
Because in the draft, in the final report, it does show like the playground loop included in the trail.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of adding that into the scope of work with, you know, because we have in there so many benches.
Yep.
You know, so many garbage cans, so many outhouses, that would be just another.
okay, yeah, no, okay, that's.
Great. Okay. So yeah, just a motion to approve the.
I'll make a motion to approve the report by Lees and Associates regarding the trail enhancement project.
Thank you, Councilor Slager, and thank you, Councilor Burtis.
No, thank
All in
you.
favor? Carried.
So your worship, that'll go out on the website. That's.
Great. Hopefully you mention it to everybody, so we get some positive feedback or some good direction on what we should do. Okay. Next on our agenda, we have the letter to the Maybacker Animal Shelter. It's a nice little letter, so I read it. If you're all in
Are
favor,
we looking for just a yay, send it or nay?
yeah, I think we already
I
made.
think the letter, the only thing,
You gonna read it?
Yeah, I was
yeah,
gonna,
okay, yeah, read it,
Thanks.
it was awfully bossy.
please.
Okay, I can't. Okay. Town of Watson Lake wishes to acknowledge, thank, and extend support to the Humane Society Yukon and Maybacher Animal Shelter for the essential programs and support provided to our community and the territory. Town of Watson Lake recognizes the important role that our organization plays in the well-being of animals throughout the territory. We are beyond grateful for the support that has been provided for the relocation and rehoming of surrendered cats and dogs from Watson Lake and surrounding areas. Thanks to your dedicated professional care, we know and trust the animals going to the Maybacher Animal Shelter will be safe and protected while they await their forever homes. We understand that our organization could not run without the support of volunteers and the generosity of donors. We look forward to continued discussions on ways that the town of Watson Lake can support your organization to ensure that you can continue your important work in and for the territory. We thank you again for your support that you have provided to the municipality. We look forward to continuing this important partnership.
Sounds great.
We wanted to, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, we wanted just to acknowledge that the support they were giving to us and make sure that it was recognized.
Oh, yeah, Are we going to follow up this letter with any sort of financial contributions?
So I think that's a conversation for future, just because, sorry if you answer that. I think that there's another municipality that's putting forward a resolution calling on the government to
Oh, okay.
step up, so I think that we should wait and see what happens there first.
Okay,
I agree.
Yeah, and then, I mean, depending what happens there, then,
we can go from there.
yeah. But yes, that was a conversation that we had.
Gotcha. Motion to mail the letter of support.
Thank you, Councilor Slager.
I'll second.
Thank you, Councilor Burris.
All third.
Carried. Yeah. Careful. Dave Dennett has extended an invite to the grand opening of the supportive housing facility, a new 16-unit housing for women and children and those who are homeless and or at risk of homelessness. Community resource available is to communities across the Yukon, provide a safe, affordable home and support services, including mental health, alcohol, drug addictions, building life skills, and more. This is on Friday, April 28th, and they are inviting us to join.
Is there a time given?
See April 28th.
Okay.
So, I mean, we can reach out to Deputy Chief Harlan. I'm sure that he will inform us. I believe this has been postponed on, it's like our open house. I think it was postponed several times.
All good, just wondering if it's like an evening thing or if it's like an all-day thing or.
Okay.
Be nice if some of us can attend.
Great. April 28th. Put on your calendar. Okay. Next on the agenda, is Councillor from Forum.
Your worship, I did miss one thing in my report that I should bring forward for the discussion.
Okay,
I was approached this afternoon. The city of Whitehorse is looking to do a joint resolution for the AYC AGM. And they've reached out to us and CarMax and Tesla to see if we would go in on the joint resolution to make it more meaningful, but the resolution that they're looking, and they'll do all the prep on the resolution, it's just us. putting our hand on it. It states that the Yukon government ensure meaningful and respectful consultation and advance notification to municipalities on territorial decisions that may impact municipalities in a timely manner.
Sounds great to me.
I mean,
In fact, I think that was my
I mean, they're not doing that
original
already?
suggestion for a resolution, in fact.
how is that not a thing already? It's not what they're supposed to do.
Well, yes, I'm not sure, your worship, but it's definitely something that,
Reality.
Sounds like there's
Definitely
a story there that we
doesn't
don't know.
Consult adequately.
well, I think
Okay.
it ties into a lot of stuff that's been going on, but more recently, the announcement from the government during their agreement with the New Democratic Party about all of a sudden paying for free transportation in the city of Whitehorse, and nobody consulted with the city of Whitehorse to see what they needed done or where they needed money instead of the transportation. So I think that's what really spurred it to come forward, because there's been a few of those decisions made over the last year, which have really catching people off guard.
Popped out of nowhere. Firsthand of a couple, actually. I don't see why that we wouldn't want to support that. I mean, we can put forth our own resolution at the same time.
Exactly.
So why wouldn't we want
I think
to?
they're putting forward like 5 resolutions, so yeah.
Right. I mean,
So if you, I guess, I just need a motion from council to say, give me authority to respond to say that.
I'll make a motion to lend our support to the city of Whitehorse and their AYC resolution.
thank you, Councilor.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Burtis. All in favor?
Thank you very much.
Very
Sorry about that. But I just said it.
There's a lot of motions for committee of the whole meeting.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep, go ahead, Councilor Slager.
are we in council open forum?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So recently with our training, there's someone's too shy to ask, basically. They were wondering if they're getting paid for their training that they were getting at the light center or the swimming pool. If it was like Or that was pro bono, so like if you want this job, you need to take this training, but it's free.
No, it's all paid.
I assured them that that would be the case. And so happy to hear that. I'll pass that on. Part of the t-shirts and swag and whatnot for the AYC and Northern Light Center, and are we anywhere closer to, can we task Heather Berg with this and say, hey, you know how much you used to love this stuff?
No, we've,
We're
yeah.
on it.
yeah,
They're on it?
actually Tiffany ordered some of the cups for the volunteer dinner on the 20th of April.
Mhm.
And we've been working on the other order. We're just trying to find someplace that's a little better price compared to some of them.
Gotcha, and I know the grads are looking for to firm up some numbers, and I saw the email that went out to the volunteers requesting the RSVP, so we know how many people are showing up, so we can figure out a dollar value around that. I've started to order some groceries just to be proactive and not be caught unprepared. So we should we'll have a side conversation about that at some point. Firm up those details, and there's one last thing. No, that's all for me.
Thank you, Councilor Slager.
I got nothing to.
Okay, thanks, Councilor Burton.
Nothing for me today, thank you.
Is Denise online?
But yeah, Danina, do you have anything for open forum?
It's on mute.
Are you on mute?
Yeah, no, I'm reading myself. No, I think I'm okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I think I'm okay.
Thanks, Councilor Paquette. I just, out of our conversations today, thought, maybe to approach the seniors groups for volunteers, meet and greets for the Northern Light Center, if there's the time when they want to actively partake and be someone who they can be there at the Northern Light Center, whether they're just greeting people or giving information or, kind of an information person that they might just want to be there to communicate with, It could be a volunteer, it could be, maybe there's something we can do to sweeten the pot. Free coffee.
I'm generous.
Hey, tough times. Okay.
Up your airport, they got volunteers walking around, telling people.
We have nothing for in camera unless there's something you'd like to add to in camera. We're not quite there yet, though. So we do have, this is a committee of the whole meeting. So if there's nothing else for Council Open Forum today, then we will move to Gallery Open Forum.
I'd like to invite everyone to Easter Sunday sunrise service at the Lilac Cabin at 7 o'clock.
I mean,
And then you get coffee and breakfast. We got potluck cards.
Ooh, free coffee and breakfast.
It's a nice way to start Easter. A little different than traditional going to church.
Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you.
I love that council is your personal advertising chamber.
Pardon?
What?
I didn't hear you.
I know. No, I just said that I like how you always use council as your advertising avenue. I love it. Thank you. Patty, do you have anything to add or question?
Hello there. Hey, I couldn't really hear the conversation, but I heard Cam talking about having difficulty finding staff, and I wondered if he knew why that was.
No, and we're not the only ones. I'm sure his worship could attest to the issues with finding staff in the community. We've been flogging our jobs high and low. And actually, as part of the trade show, there was actually help for writing resumes. I'm not sure what's going on, but I've been in contact with the other CAOs, and everybody else is in the same boat as we are right now. Actually, we might be a little bit ahead of them on the swimming pool issue because we took the proactive steps of sending our kids to training last fall. But for other positions, everybody else, bunch of the other communities are talking about maybe not opening their pools again. So, yeah, I honestly don't know why people aren't applying for jobs. I have no idea.
So what was the turnout like for the job fair?
It was very good the first day from what I've been told.
Yeah.
Second day was fairly thin. They actually closed down early because all the school kids and everybody had been through the day before. So it was mostly just adult stragglers coming through on the second day.
Okay, thanks. That's it for me.
Thank you, Patty.
Patty, I can also tell you that about 80% of our grade 10 to 11, 12 or to 11, 12 students are employed,
80%.
at least 80%. There's actually, I was going through
Sorry, what was,
my head and there's very few that aren't.
So they can't hear unless, because you're so
Oh.
far away from that, that's the issue.
That was so loud.
No.
I'll reiterate it.
A lot of people are working
80%, Counselor Slager says 80% of the grades
10,
10, 11, 12 are currently employed.
oh yeah, okay. Thanks.
How many students would that be?
30,
30?
35.
25? It's good. Yeah, it is a difficult time for finding staff, and we've had this discussion in length, and I am quite fortunate actually to have some great long-term staff held on to. So, and we've reached far and wide to bring in new employment. In camera, is there a motion to go in camera?
Well. Yes, I believe we probably should. Make a motion to go in camera.
I'll second that.
Counselor Slager, Counselor Hanchar, all in favor? Carried.
Just before I leave you,
Uh-huh.
the Yukon is on the verge of accepting 430 new immigrants or nominees this year. So I'm wondering if there's any way to tap into that. I mean, of course, then housing becomes an issue, but it's something for people anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We have brought that up with, and so thanks, Patty. We have mentioned that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Bye.
Okay, now,
Bye.
I'll make a motion to come out of camera.
Counselor Slager, Counselor Hanchar. All in favor? Carried.
Thank you.
And adjourned.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second. Counselor Slager,
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, guys. See you later.
Talk to you later.
the second. Curtis?
Curtis.
Okay. All in favor? Carried.
Thank you.